Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
What's going on, everybody? This is Joe Biggs with Infowars.com. Now, today I want to cover an article that I saw from TechDirt.com. Now, in this article, it says that the FBI is apparently paying Geek Squad members to dig around people's computers for evidence of criminal activity. So when I give you my computer, you're not supposed to be just going through my computer. You're supposed to be trying to fix the issues at hand. Now, if you do stumble across something accidentally, say child pornography, which is where this article does end up going, then they're supposed to notify proper authorities, but you're not supposed to be getting a paycheck from the FBI for doing that. And that's an issue that's happening here with this article. Now, according to court records, Geek Squad technician John Trey Westfall was an FBI informant and reported he accidentally located on Reitenmeyer's, I guess this is the guy who submitted his computer in to be looked at, an image of a fully nude, prepubescent female on her hands and knees on a bed, fully nude with a choker around her neck. This guy was an FBI informant who notified another man who was an FBI informant who alerted a colleague, Randall Ratliff, who was another FBI informant, and then eventually it got to the FBI, and this guy was apparently tied to a series of illicit pictures called the Jenny shots. Agent Tracy Riley seized that hard drive and submitted it into the FBI. Now, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said before, it is a customary practice by people who work in computer electronic device repair that if they stumble across child pornography, that they are supposed to notify the FBI. But the issue is the FBI paid this guy to do it. Now we have to go into the Fourth Amendment and what that is. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution provides the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The ultimate goal of this provision is to protect people's right to privacy and freedom for arbitrary governmental intrusions. Now, setting aside the issue of whether the search of Rattenheimer's computer constituted an illegal search by private individuals acting as government agents, the FBI undertook a series of dishonest measures in hopes of building a case. Now, according to James D. Reddit, Rattenheimer's San Clemente-based defense lawyer, Reddit says agents conducted 2 additional searches of the computer without obtaining warrants, lied to trick a federal magistrate judge into authorizing a search warrant, then tried to cover up their misdeeds by initially hiding records. So that's the issue, is that instead of going through the law and using it the proper way and getting that warrant and providing enough evidence to prove that that warrant is needed to seize and go through that information, they went to Best Buy employee and said, hey, here's a check for $500. Tell us what you see. Is it good that they stopped child pornography from getting out there and they went after a guy who was tied to something like that? Yes, that is good that happened. But it's the way that it's happening and the way that it never just stops and starts at that one spot. It eventually begins to grow. It's like they say, you give them an inch, they take a mile. You give the federal government one computer, and then it turns into all computers. Look what Edward Snowden brought to the forefront with his revelations in The Guardian, showing how Verizon was helping the U.S. government spy on its users. Look at General Petraeus talking about how in the future, your washing machine or your microwave or refrigerator will be listening to your conversations. We now have a new thing by Amazon called Alexa that is a device that sits in your room and can listen to you. There has to be a line drawn in the sand when it comes to what these tech companies can do as far as their involvement with helping the government spy on its citizens. Like I said, we have a Fourth Amendment that clearly states that without a warrant or without reasonable suspicion, you cannot illegally seize or search or go through any of my property. That being my home, you can't go through my car, and you can't go through my laptop computer because you think something. You actually have to have some kind of evidence to allow that to happen. And we've seen how Dell is apparently having their computers intercepted by the NSA so they can install malware to spy on more people. More and more, it looks like we're living in a scene from the book of 1984. Hopefully, on January 20th, President-elect Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 45th President of the United States, and he will help us straighten this up. This has been Joe Biggs with Infowars.com.